Mm-hmm. Okay.
Hey Instagram, we're going to be live on Facebook. I'm just setting this up right here and it's going to be filming us while we're live on Facebook. So you can hop over to Facebook and put questions in there. You can drop them here on Instagram. And if I can get to both, I will. I'm a little better with Facebook and Instagram, but I thought we would just for funsies set this up on the thing. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and open up our Facebook. Put us in. Hide that. And there we are. Welcome everybody in. I think the mic is on here. It's on here. Here's my guy.
Hey, we're hot.
I think we're hot. Mics are hot. The Instagram is going. And the Facebook is going. And we are beginning. Tonight, it is the very end of May, right?
Yes, ma'am. 30 days since September, April, June. So we have one more day in May.
One more day in May, and then we're into June. And that's exciting for us because we're going on vacation.
We're going on vacation.
Well, I mean, we're going on a big family vacation. We're blessed that we get to go long weekends to our property. So we just did that. We went to Missouri. And
the weather was stellar.
Ooh, it was like, I would say average 50 and 70 or something like that. 50, pretty close. It was a little, but that to me is, and Instagram, I'm going to be looking up here at Facebook primarily. Anyway, just perfect to me, right?
No, I mean, we go out of Texas to enjoy the Ozarks.
Right? Some different weather.
But last year we were throwing a curveball in the Ozarks.
Oh,
it was just
so
as hot here.
Yeah.
I mean, up there as it was here.
We would pull in and it would be, I remember, 99.
We got two eyeballs looking at us.
I see that.
All right.
Well,
welcome.
99 degrees when we pulled in.
It's like, are we reading this right?
And you've driven 12 hours. You're not going to go back. So
it's like, it wasn't even this hot when we left Houston.
Right? You just suck it up. There's nothing you can do. So tonight, I'm trying to do some new things with StreamYard, which is the app that we use via Facebook. Good evening, Warren's Rock Mulch. I see you there on Instagram. Like I said, I'm trying to do Instagram here and then Facebook here. So be patient with me. Okay, Facebook. To both of y'all. We have some good questions, I feel, from Facebook that I'm going to share. And I'm going to try my new skills with StreamYard, trying to share the screen with us being picture in picture. So we'll see how that goes. I've got some makeovers to show you. I've got our contest, which I think Mike Fodge with, hold on, I drew a blank, Azamite is still going to sponsor, where he sends you a free bag. But also we want to give one of the winning guesses, or maybe the second prize person, a free consultation with this guy. Our virtual consultations, which are very popular. That is just where you get to schedule a certain number of minutes with him on the phone. And you can text a few pictures of some questions that you have. It's not really a landscape design thing because that's kind of hard to do virtually. But if you've got some specific,
we'll have a good time on the phone or FaceTime.
Yeah,
however you want to set it up.
We do it however you want to do. We're not high tech. We're not really low tech. We're kind of medium tech.
But we're trying to take advantage of technology, so we can meet with you guys other than having to actually come out to your house.
Hi, Luis.
Hey, bud.
Luis wants to provide a prize from Heirloom Soils. That is excellent. I like that, and I see you there on Instagram. Like I said, I'm going to do my best to talk to Instagram, maybe not be able to type, but then type here onto Facebook. So that's how it's going to work. So yes, then we will just on the fly, when I have my little contest of what is this flower, that's our simple contest. If you can tell me what the flower is, then I'm going to give out 3 prizes tonight. One from Azamite and one from our friend Luis at Heirloom Soils.
Sweet.
And then you can get a 15 or 30-minute virtual consult with Garden Guy. He could look at a plant. He could look at the grass.
I could literally change your world in 30 minutes.
Please.
Hey.
Well, no, dear. You can only help with landscaping.
Well, you know what I mean.
No, actually, I don't. All right. We have, I'm going to see what comments we have first. Hi, Instagram. I'm trying to do both of these at the same time. Look, woohoo, right? Hi, Donna.
Hey, Donna.
And there's Mike. Okay, cool. All right. So I guess start with some of the questions.
Sure. Why not? We can kick it off with that.
All right. So here's what I'm going to do, Facebook. Instagram, you're just along for the ride. I'm going to try to share my Facebook screen where the questions came in. And if it doesn't work, my Facebook Live people, just hang with me. And then I'm going to go back to my really low-tech way of showing you the picture like this. The reason I do that is I know that it works. But let me see if I can share my screen. So hang on, my friends. And I'm going to do it. Here I am, right here. No, Chrome tab is what I want. Hang on. Share. Okay, I think y'all can see this. I hope so. This is Bruce Maresh. And he wants to know what kind of weed this is in his Saint, but he means Saint Augustine. I'm assuming y'all can see this. And how does he control it? I'm going to try to go this way. Okay, so now look.
We're there.
Are you proud of me?
Yeah, man.
Look at this. Look what I've done. Okay.
Hey, we're double dipping technology tonight.
Right? No, Instagram doesn't understand what we're looking at. But I think I can show you Instagram this way. He has a weed in his grass. And Todd and I talked about it. And Bruce, I'll edit this for you later and then we'll show you. But it is what?
Unfortunately, Bruce, you have Virginia buttonweed.
Virginia buttonweed, and that's bad.
It's muy malo.
Right? Luis, is that right?
Good answer, Luis.
He speaks Spanish.
Listen,
be careful.
It is one of the worst weeds you can have in a St. Augustine lawn. Unfortunately, there's not many control methods. One would be mechanical, which means if you don't have a full yard infestation, to go out and pull the runners by hand weekly until you diminish the amount of it, and then hopefully your St. Augustine lawn will actually overtake it. Second,
there's
solution.
An herbicide that is, and there are many of them, but this is just the one that we decided would be fun because we try to keep it simple. It's called Fahrenheit, and you can look it up.
Yeah.
And that's up to you. Honestly, it's bad. And even Randy Lemon, I looked up to see what did he say and what was the thing. And it's just one of those really bad things. And I liked what Randy Lemon said. He said, every time you go out to the mailbox, pull a couple of the weeds. Every time you go, to walk the dog, pull a couple of the weeds.
Now, what you can do also, depending on how much of your yard is infested, you can always cut out that section of yard.
That's true.
Re-amend it. Make sure you got all the runners and resod it, and it may be cheaper than the amount that you will spend on herbicides trying to control this stupid weed.
Right. It's bad. And then, of course, the first thing that, because we look up stuff too on the internet. I mean, we don't know every single thing. And we looked it up. And of course, the first thing it tells you is glyphosate. And that, my friends, is Roundup.
That's Roundup.
Which
But
I'm not a fan of.
But if you have a turf lawn, Roundup, glyphosates are non-selective.
Yeah,
so it's going to kill
your
that
whole lawn.
So if that's the case, short of if that's what you need to do, then spray it with that, kill that part of the yard, kill that Virginia buttonweed, and then, go to the process of resodding.
Right. So Louise said, muy mala.
Yeah.
It is. And Kathy, yeah, you got to pull it by hand, Bruce. It's bad. And you can look up Fahrenheit and see if you want to do that. But honestly, I don't know. Look, this is my opinion, and sometimes I just offer my opinion as a person who's not a
flamethrower.
As Mike say, a flamethrower. Yeah, exactly. It's bad. So for me, now this is my controversial housewife opinion. I think that you can do the best that you can do with your lawn, and then you just need to take a deep breath.
I'm in agreement with that.
I know there's people that they live their life to have the perfect lawn, and I'm not saying that that's not right. If that makes you happy, you should do it. But I also know we have talked about with gardening. Like sometimes we've done everything we can for a vegetable garden.
Wasn't it like baking a cake and you put in too many ingredients and it doesn't come out right?
That's not where I was going. You're not letting me finish.
Okay, finish.
No, I may have forgotten.
No, you did. That's my problem.
What are you saying?
Did I forget what I was going to say?
What was I saying? Oh, sometimes you just have to settle for what it is. I mean, you make it the best that you can, but I don't think you should frustrate your life over it.
There's a product for everything, but, use in moderation. I mean, people have been growing vegetables for thousands of years.
Kathy, this is just a snapshot of... So here is something that has nothing to do with landscaping that y'all will appreciate. This is marriage counseling advice. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm married to you, so I guess I'm ready.
Not you. So if you have ADD or ADHD, now you get to be called the $25 word. I'm going to stop sharing this screen. No, I'm doing this. We will get back to some more questions. You are what's called neurodiverse. So it's neurodiverse. Usually neurodiverse people marry people who are what's called neurotypical. So that would be me. So I listened to this whole podcast that taught me these new words. And I realized so many things about our marriage and the disaster that it can become sometimes.
It's a long drive from Missouri to Texas.
It's a long drive from Missouri to Texas. Anyway, so I want to tell you that if you have a lot of problems with your husband, because men are usually more ADHD or ADD, you just have to study this whole neurodiversity thing, and you have to understand it better, and it really will help you get along better with your spouse, I think.
I agree now that I understand it.
The reason I brought it up is because, did you see this interrupting? Yeah, this is what it is. But that's why he's so creative too. So I homeschool the kids, and we had some people, neurodiverse, there he is, right? So I thought that was a neat thing to know for marriage, that if you didn't know that your husband or wife, vice versa, because women can be too, that you're a neurotypical and they're neurodiverse, it can cause a ton of misunderstanding, especially if you're as, straight-laced as I am and everything is very organized and everything, and then he's just out of control. You can easily, as the wife, take that personally, like it's a shot at you, but it's not necessarily. It's just a symptom of the neurodiversity. Yes. Anyway, that was free marriage advice. You're welcome. OCD, yeah. I mean, I guess that would be me if you want to call me that, but I'm just very hyper organized. But I've had to be with running the house, the business, the kids. It's a good thing. So it's a compliment. It's a compliment. Anyway, okay. That was a little extra. All right, so that was Virginia buttonweed, and Bruce, that is your answer. Let's go back over to Facebook. I've got some more questions. I have to share my screen. I have to go over to make sure I do it right. Sorry, guys. Oh no, see, I didn't do it right. All right, here's what I'm going to do, because sometimes I get confused. We're going to go ahead and do it the old-fashioned way. Somebody wants to know what this is. It's our friend, dear friend, Lisa McAllister Styles. So what is this thing? And I wrote it at the bottom. This is southern dewberry brambles, or just dewberries.
That you probably find in most lawns, growing along a tree line or a fence line, somewhere where you're trying to clean up. And
it's very
thorny.
And how do you get rid of it?
Well,
you want to know how to get rid of it.
Sure. You need to trace it back to its root system and then remove it from the root system there. You can try to spray some brush and stump type spray on it.
Mm-hmm.
But once again, you're spraying an herbicide. And so we like to try to do things mechanically and naturally first. But trace it back to the origin where it's coming up from is a good way to start.
Yeah, you're better to just dig it out?
Mm-hmm. Dig it out.
And that's what I was thinking. Obviously, he does a ton of, I'm going to try to share screen and show this next question. He does a ton of manual labor where our workers do a ton. And that's a lot of times how this stuff gets done.
Well, a lot of times you spray too, and you're not sure that you got it, or you think you sprayed too much or not enough. And then what you end up doing is not following the directions and spraying again because you want a quicker result and not being patient.
Just like in life, you got to get to the root, baby.
There you go.
You got to get to the root.
Well said.
You got to get to the root. All right. You got to get to the root, guys. You got to get to the root of the marriage problem. Okay. Here we are. All right, so this is another question. This lady wants to know about
her sweet basil.
Cindy Burleson Adam. So if I edit this later, I can tell her. Hello, Instagram. If you have questions, Instagram, put them in there. Cindy wants to know what is wrong with the sweet basil plant. It's the second one that has died. So we looked at it. Todd kind of zoomed in on it earlier. Sometimes, guys, it's hard to tell what's really wrong through a picture, but go ahead. He's going to give his best shot.
From what I can see in this picture, it looks like there's some insect infestation on the underside of the root. Mm-hmm. It's a sucking insect, maybe aphid, something else that has
Instagram here
doing damage to the sweet basil. Obviously, you're not going to want to spray it with anything because it's something that you bring into your kitchen.
Could you use diatomaceous earth?
You could, yeah, because it's natural. If that's what you find out that's wrong with it,
I like diatomaceous because you can. I don't want to eat diatomaceous earth, but you can eat it.
Yeah, no, it's not.
So maybe a dusting.
Well, if you look at the leaves, the healthy ones on this, it looks like a very healthy sweet basil, and then if you look at the discolored mottled ones, that's usually a symptom of insect damage.
Some kind of insect, yeah, and so
from below.
Yeah,
it's not a caterpillar or anything eating the leaves from above where it's very evident.
Okay, so that's an answer on that. I think I'm getting this thing right now. I'm going to go over to, we got that one. Hang on, guys. Okay, we got Yvonne Rebstock. And Yvonne wants to know, what is wrong with my rose bush? And I'm going to show Instagram. She said it was beautiful. What happened? Instagram, I'm doing this old school, just showing you a piece of paper because I'm actually live on Facebook. But this is her rose bush, and Todd was doing his best to determine just with this picture what is going on.
So once again, we pulled the picture up,
and we
really zoomed in on it, and from what I can tell, she has a major insect infestation.
If you guys could zoom in on this, and you can go to our Facebook page and later and look at it.
That has chewed most of the leaves, and you can see some damage on the roses as well. I can't really tell what they are from the photo.
Right.
It also looks that the soil
is poor,
and the drainage is poor.
Yeah, it's.
I would recommend that this woman re-amend her bed.
Yeah.
And I think your healthier shrubs and plants are going to be less susceptible to insect damage because they're not under stress.
No, you're right.
And
that's good.
Just like anything looking for a free meal, an insect's going to go to something that's struggling, that's easy to eat on, and something that's really healthy and vigorous. Then they're going to choose something weak.
That's true. All right, Yvonne, that is your answer. Best that we could do it.
But amend that soil.
Yeah.
And add fertilizer and cut off the dead areas and see if you can't get it to revitalize itself and flush back out. And if you see some insects on the underside of the leaves or down in the soil, but you're going to have to really get down and look at it and to diagnose your problem.
Now I've got some old school stuff I'm just going to hold up the pictures of. But before I do that, I've got a few more questions. Let's see how far in we are.
6:49.
Oh, it's already 6:49. That's good though. 20 minutes. All right, guys. Should I do the plant thing for fun, or should I make them wait?
Well, we can do a few more pictures, or
Okay.
you can do that. You can choose.
I think I'm going to show y'all a quick makeover that Todd did. This is a quick one. And I figured out how to do picture-in-picture. I know that y'all are so proud of me. So here I go. I think I'm going to be able to do it. Here it comes. Yes. And then I think you can hear us. Now, so I've switched.
Wow, is that even the same house?
Right? So tell us about this one. I'm just going to let it loop so Todd can talk about it because now we can actually be part of it. Go ahead.
Sure. Well, I need to see loop back around again.
It's going. It's going. It's going. Hold on, boss.
Okay.
I think it is. Live. Oh my goodness,
You
Sabrina.
need to hit the arrow.
Okay, here we go. Here goes.
So we started off with a mess, and we made less of a mess from the left side plant materials, and just gave her an overall new look where they've been fighting this old landscape, which you can see on the before picture for years.
Mm-hmm.
And even though they have a pretty perennial that comes up year after year, and it was given to them by a friend that was one little stalk, and now you see it overcame the whole bed, that they were just really tired of trying to manage that bed throughout the season. So her and her husband came to an agreement that they would
There's the
start new. And
that side. There's what it looks like after. Here is this side. This looks really nice.
yeah, that's the left side with the mess going on before on the.
And this is the right
The
side.
right side,
There's the
uh-huh.
right side, guys. Yeah.
So those are spirea plants, the really large ones. So we kept,
Instagram if you want to see it. It's on Facebook if you want to actually.
so we
see
kept one of them and trimmed it up, and then we removed the ferns and the other spirea to make room for some neater, cooler plants up near the front door, and then reused some of the giant liriope and ferns throughout the landscape. So the homeowner was very happy that we were able to reuse
I like that one.
some of her plant materials, and they've been in the house for 40 years. So
Oh wow.
it was a long overdue makeover. That, and it was kind of funny. We did her mother-in-law, but they never knew each other. What am I trying to say? They didn't know each other. What am I trying? They didn't know that they called me.
Right. They had not communicated with one another, that they had
Yeah,
both contacted you. That's why
Yes,
I'm your communications expert. There you
And
go.
then we found out they were related.
Oh, great minds think alike. I have this question. I'm just going to do it old school so Instagram can see it. And Facebook. I need to know the easiest way possible to get rid of these horrible ferns.
So once again, we're going to go to the mechanical method. I know it means work, but it's also work to go in the garage, mix up spray and pump it up and walk out there and
You've
spray
been
it.
polluting the world with all that mess.
And then you
right?
don't know where it ends up. So yeah, you need to dig up the root system of this fern, make sure you get all the rhizomes. And it may take a 2-step process where you get most of them one weekend.
Mhm.
And whatever you plan on doing around that AC unit, and then do it once again to make sure you get them all. But mechanical is always best. It's the first choice for us as a landscaping company than just hitting the sprays.
Speaking of mechanical, I have another one. Here's another lady. Here you go, Instagram.
Hire a landscaper.
This is,
Or a
I
yard
wish you
man.
could see this yard. I know I'm not. I know this is a cheeseball way I'm doing it, but look at this lady's backyard. I mean, it is, and this is not Texas. This was just something I found, but it's a beautiful tiered, it was garden at one time. And her question is, how do I begin? How do I fix this? And it is, I'm going to show you all one more time. It's bad. And I'm going to tell you right now, I knew when I saw it. Guys, there's no magical way to fix that. There's one way.
Hire someone.
You got to hire somebody, especially this lady, because I read her question and she said she's partially disabled. So there's just no shortcut to that kind of thing. And you got to hire someone and they've got to get in there and do the work.
You're either going to have to change the size of your garden and tone it down, which at one time she may have spent a lot of money with the tiers and this, and she was able to handle. A lot of people do, but as we grow older, we're not able to do as much as, and turning that part of the garden, if it's producing vegetables, back into something more simple like a perennial garden where it doesn't. But
That's
you're
true.
going
I guess scaling it down is a good
But you're going to
idea.
need some help to get there, especially if you're not able physically to do it all.
Right. Okay. So these are coleus. This is really cute. This lady wanted to know, she had a lot of questions about coleus. This is just something she did on her own. Oh, that's nice. Let me show Instagram. Hi, I planted these coleus a few weeks ago and they're doing great. and I am not experienced with them. I know a little bit about them. It says it's important to pinch back their leaves, but I'm nervous I'll mess them up. They were so pretty. I've also read that you should pinch off the flowers so it will focus more energy on the leaves. What should I do? So what do we do with coleus and how do we keep them pretty?
The flowers on a coleus are insignificant. They do bloom, but you're buying coleus for the leaves, and that's why there's so many different varieties and people like to intermix them.
Mm-hmm. I like the colors on them.
The way she did. I think as far as her other question, she's afraid of screwing it up. It's hard to screw up a plant like that if you're just doing things mechanically by hand and you don't have your big shears out where you might cut too much. So pinching off a leaf here or there, and what happens? I accidentally pinched off a good. The plant's going to grow back. It's very vigorous this time of year, and it will be like nothing happened.
Nothing happened. All right, guys. So
just go for it,
yeah,
and it'll be fine. And then that way you start gaining experience each and every time you do it, where you're not afraid that you're going to mess up each plant. It's like anything else you do in life. The first time you do it, you're kind of hesitant. Like I installed doors this weekend at our country place.
You've been lots of doors,
but it's been a long time since I've installed doors. And not only did I do one,
oh my goodness,
I did two.
You can be the door guy.
I did 4 doors. But after the first,
you did 3. You didn't do the 4th one.
Well, there were 3 doors and a screen door.
Oh,
that makes 4.
You're right. You did one on the side.
Go for it. Pinch those coleus leaves, and don't worry about hurting the plant.
Okay, last question, and then we're going to do the contest, which is only going to take a second because it's a very short video of a plant that you'll need to identify. Okay, so I'm in favor. This person wants to know what to do with this stump. I'm feeling like we need to blow it up or something, or stump grind it, whatever. But Todd had an idea. So what do you say to people when they're like, actually, her question was kind of funny. She said, what can I do to decorate this stump? And I was like, decorate it? I mean, to each his own.
So a lot of times when we come across somebody that's had a tree removed, tree removal is not cheap.
That's a big one.
And when a professional tree company gives the price for grinding the stump after they've taken out the tree, it's a little bit too much for the homeowner to bear. So we end up with these large stumps. And so what can we do with them? A lot of times we'll put a very pretty planter on top, and then in this case we would probably do some type of ground cover down below so it blends in kind of a woodsy look with a decorative pot on top that she can interchange plants out throughout the year, because it's going to be years before that stump rots out where it would no longer be able to hold a larger pot. So it's just an idea.
And there was another thing I saw. I mean, it's not my thing, but somebody else had put a what is that, like a fairy house or like a little mushroom house on top of it? Decorative stuff.
Oh, the fairy garden.
Yeah, kind of like made a fairy garden on it. I mean, that's cute too if you're into that, if you like it. I thought that, if it's something you like, then that's fun, right?
You can even paint it if you wanted to and be a little bit eclectic in your garden.
That's true.
And put some of the fake sunflowers behind it and make it whatever.
You could try anything, right?
It's going to be there for a while, so you have time.
It is time. We're 28 minutes in, and y'all are awesome. Instagram and Facebook. It's time to present the question of what is this plant. So this week I picked something, and I'm going to see if y'all can guess what it is. And then I've got so many prizes. I hope I have enough people to win them. But it's fun, and I love it that Mike from Azomite and Luis from Heirloom Soils are here to give out some prizes. So let me make sure I do this right. Hold on, guys. Let me do this first. Here are your choices. I want to make sure I do this right. Oh, that's the wrong one, Sabrina.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. I did not put the right question in here, and that's my fault. I guess I didn't save it unless it's down here. 1 second, guys. No, I didn't save my choices. That's bad because this is live.
Yeah, it is. How did we wing that one?
Well, there's only 4 people watching.
So put the picture up and see if they know it without a multiple choice. Make it be like a real college test.
Okay, this is like a real test, and it's not multiple choice because I messed it up. Okay, here goes.
Hey, we're doing it because we want to make it a little bit hard on you guys.
Okay, all right. See if you can figure out what this is, and I will give you some choices in a second. I apologize for that part. Here it comes. All right. Does anybody have any guesses? It's kind of a hard one. And I had written down some multiple choices, but let's see. Donna said, we all win, right? I think it's what it's going to be. So I'm going to give you, Donna's like gladiola, no. So I'm going to give you some choices. Is it lamb's ear?
Lamb's ear.
Is it mullen? Or is it, give me one more. Thyme.
Is it thyme?
Oh, no, I messed this one up, guys. All right. Is it lamb's ear, mullen, or is it thyme, like a wild thyme in the woods? Those are your choices. I did them verbally for you instead of them scrolling around the bottom.
Looks like wild basil to me.
Wild basil. Mike said, oops. Yeah, oops. Sorry, guys. Donna, I think, is going to win. Oh, look, Donna. Donna did win. She is now our winner. I think she might get 3 prizes. So she's the only one. So Donna is the winner. And I'm very excited about that, Donna. So what I need you to do, Donna, after the show is on Facebook, direct message me your information. So I'll need you just to direct message me and tell me, private message me your name, your address, and your contact info so that you get to choose is how I'm going to do this one. You get 1 prize, Donna. You can get your bag of soil from Heirloom Soils. You can get your azomite from Mike, or you can have a free consultation with Todd. It's a virtual, and it's a 15-minute kind of thing. Yeah. So that's up to you. Oh, Kathy says lamb's ear, and Donna says she can handle that. Yeah, just message me after. So this is not lamb's ear, but it is confused many times. Here, Instagram, you can see it too. It is confused with lamb's ear, and there's a really good picture of it. It is actually called common mullen, and it's spelled, and Donna is our winner. It's spelled M-U-L-L-E-I-N, common mullen, verbascum thapsus. So I could read, you can look it up, guys, yourself.
But read them a little bit of it.
Yeah. In the midsummer, the tall flower stalks of common mullen, verbascum thapsus, begin to poke up, making this common weed in the family, oh boy, who knows what that word is. Highly noticeable, yes. Highly noticeable in the road, cuts, and waste areas where it thrives. Native to Europe, Northern Africa, and Asia, introduced to North America several times as a medicinal herb. So I did read a lot about it being an herb, and some people use it for lung issues. I also, there's so much information on it. You've probably seen this before. Here you go, Instagram. Here's what it looks like when it blooms, Facebook. And it is a weed of sorts, but it's actually an herb, and it has a deep tap root. And I read this interesting. Oh, and people sometimes will grow it as an ornamental. So sometimes people really like it. And like I said, people do use it for herbal purposes, teas and things like that. And then I even was listening to this YouTube video, and this lady goes, sometimes people smoke it. And I was like, well, we're not
doing that here.
We're not.
Facebook Live.
Please stop doing that. Please stop smoking things.
We're not toking the mullen.
That's funny, dear. No, that's a good one. So no, we're not. We don't recommend that. No. But the mullen. This was the fact that I thought was interesting. A lady typed in on this forum, and she said it used to be used by the pioneers as toilet paper.
It's what you can find on the prairie.
Yeah. So I mean, it was out there, and they had
better than a cow patty, right?
So anyway,
buffalo patty.
That is Donna. She's our winner. She gets to decide if she wants her gift from Heirloom Soils, or if she wants her gift from Azomite, or if she wants a gift from Garden Guy. But we'll do our contest every week, and I'll try to make sure I have the multiple choice banner better for y'all. And we'll either give out 3 prizes, or I'll give 1 prize if only one person guesses. So, and that's cool, right? And awesome. And it does look like lamb's ear. I thought that too, Kathy. And I'm glad you're here tonight. Oh, you know what? This is Todd Farber, Aggie horticulturist.
Hi, there.
Sugarland's #1 residential landscaper. Busy guy. Booked out through,
part of July. We're tapering off a little bit now. But right before we came on live, I sold another job. So I have to schedule new client this evening.
Right. So we're very pleased with that. I'm very happy. Hey, I want to show you a fun one real quick. This is called the Corgi Approved Landscape, because this guy had a lot of corgis and they were cute and they were going around. And this was a couple weeks ago in Memorial. So I'm going to pop this one on for y'all. Here it comes. And there's his review too. There's the corgis. They liked it.
Digging in the soil and mulch like most dogs.
Right.
Yeah.
So go ahead and talk about this.
So when I met the gentleman a few weeks or a month before we actually did the installation.
Can y'all type in if you can hear us? Because I'm trying it this way the first time and I'm feeling insecure.
Anyway, he and his wife had been in the house for less than a year and they really wanted to do something to bring the backyard up to 2023, and it had a few good bones. And so with my vision, we decided to go the route of more hummingbird butterfly plants and create a little pathway behind where the corgi is.
I don't know if they can hear us. Can somebody type in? Oh, good. Thank you, Donna.
Good,
I just want to make sure that I'm doing it right.
Anyway,
okay,
just sprucing up with what he had. It was one of those situations where the homeowner had tried to do some of it himself, but it was overwhelming. And like the previous picture we showed of the overgrown tiered garden, he just knew he had to call somebody. And from this point on, he can handle it himself, but he just didn't know where to start.
So this is just, please hire someone to help me. Because for me, I would be like, I can't handle that.
The interesting thing about these makeovers, we've been doing them for 32 years and my crew are incredible. We get in there and we knock this stuff out in a day. And
thanks, Kathy.
What I get from most homeowners is like, oh, wow, that would have taken me 3 weekends. And people don't want to give up their precious weekends. And so if you have the money to invest in your landscape, even she and I talk about it, I can't do everything. And so we hire out, even though I might be able to do it, I don't have time. So
I love this. I mean, the before and after.
Yeah.
I like this. I love the corgis. They look super cute. Never had a corgi, but it looks like a cute and happy dog. I'm just saying. And hello, Mr. P Lawn Care. And hello, WG. I think it's Lilican. Welcome. Tell me about the plants. What have we got?
Well, in this, he had some existing salvias. That this was one of those beds that he tried to. But if you look at the before picture, you can't hardly see any of them. It was just overgrown, full of weeds. That's not that. There it is.
Okay, so there's the before. So you kept some of this.
Yeah, so we trimmed his roses. We kept the salvia, but like I said, they're hard to see. They're in there. We didn't plant any in that bed. We just enhanced what he had, mulched it, added some soil, and you can see the result.
No, you're good like that.
We try to save clients money.
You mean you don't try to just overplant everything and run out?
No, that's not us.
That's not you.
We would like to be called back in the future.
Right. Okay, so I love this one. And I loved his, of course. I mean, who doesn't like words of affirmation or words of encouragement?
But you know what, guys?
Jeff is a nice guy.
When we ask for these, what do we call it?
We ask for a recommendation. If you give it to us, sure.
It's not prefaced at all by me on the job site, looking to kind of coach them. Hey, it would be great if you would say this about us. We really need to pick me up.
Right.
These are these people's true words from their heart, what they saw, what they think about our crew.
Feel good. I'm going to read for Instagram. It says, Jeff A. from Lakeside. This is in Memorial. A garden guy and his awesome team renewed our backyard. 1 before and 2 after pictures say it all about their quality. I love it. Over and above that, everyone on his team, the members, were personable, helpful, and respectful. The garden guy himself was here all day and was always willing to answer my questions and get my feedback on his additional suggestions and to make the yard look better. And he said, our corgis approve. And that's why when I made this video, I made it corgi approved. So this is a very nice gentleman. And I like this job. And I like this blue urn. Is that his?
Yeah, it's just a vase.
I don't know. I like that. I think that looks
well, that's
nice.
A fountain that's submersible that's no longer in operation. So we decided to use it as a piece of lawn or yard ornamental.
So smart of you.
Instead of just putting it back behind his shed, which is what he wanted to do.
Oh, I love it. And I like that color blue. I mean, personally, I do. I like it a lot. Well, I think that is all of my videos I was going to share. Let me add us back in. Sorry. Sometimes I get,
No,
there we are. Sometimes I get confused, but I did do some new stuff tonight. So I'm proud of myself. Very proud of myself. And we have a winner, Donna. Just like I said, direct message me. Let me know if you want your heirloom soils, wonderful soils that they have, or if you want a wonderful bag of azomite from our friend Mike, or if you want a little mini consult with Garden Guy. Hey, if you're watching this later and you're interested in getting a 15 to 30 minute consultation over the phone with Garden Guy, hit us up here on Facebook, or you can find us at garden-guy.com on the web, and we're happy to work with you and set that up at your convenience.
Do you guys have any questions that are with us tonight?
Yeah. Y'all have any questions? I had so much I did not even ask y'all.
Anything going on with your landscapes or anything in your life we might be able to help you with?
Anything in your life?
We're very diverse here.
Right. I mean, goodness.
We're neurodiverse.
You're neurodiverse. I'm neurotypical. Stay in your lane.
Yes.
That's what I always tell him. You can borrow that phrase, ladies, if your husband is like mine. You can say, stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
That's what I tell him. I'm like,
is it in your playbook?
Is it not? Oh, yeah, we talked about that too. It's a 12-hour drive from Missouri. We talked about different people in life have different playbooks. So if you just want to hang on here, I thought that was a good, a great viewpoint. So I was listening to a podcast. And it was with a doctor, and she's been a doctor for years. And she was talking about how obviously every person has a different, the way they're raised, the home they come from, the part of the country, or maybe a different country in the world. You know, it's their worldview is different and their playbook is different. And essentially, I won't go on and on, but they had two topics on this podcast where we're talking about every person has a different playbook. And you need to be compassionate towards that and remember that. And it's easy for us all to judge one another and, you know, oh, this and that and that and this. But it's harder. It is for me, you know, because you project your feelings and your ideas onto the other person. And you say, why would they ever do that? But every person, remember, guys, has their own, we call playbook. They have their own things that they've grown up in. And the best example I heard during this podcast was there was an educator. And he had a young boy that was literally one class away from graduating from high school. One. And he said, I did everything I could to make sure this young man got to the test, that he would, you know, hopefully succeed. I think he was even going to give him some extra points. I mean, he was just going to make sure this young man got through. Well, he didn't. He never came to the test. It was a true story. He didn't show up. And, all that to say, they were, again, talking about playbook and why would someone do this? And, you know, in your mind, you're thinking, well, this is the thing to do. You know, you take this test, you finish high school. I mean, you're winning. But see, we have to remember we don't know what people have gone through or what kind of pressure they're under at home. And I came from a home like this. And that's why it was very important to me to finish listening to this. So I was the first person to complete anything. I was the first person to finish high school. And then I was the first person to finish high school, guys. I was the first person to finish college ever. So I knew what they were going to say on this podcast. His playbook was this. If you come from a difficult background and no one has graduated from college or high school, I'm sorry, but the truth is people will keep you down. And even your own mother or father or whoever it is, as strange as it may sound to people that have never lived in a home like that,
that's true.
That's your playbook. So that was this young, not to make it about me, that was this young man's playbook. And the educator that I listened to in the podcast said, I found out later, that's kind of what was behind the scenes. And he said, I wish I had known. Maybe I could have talked to the young man. Maybe I could have helped him. Maybe you could, maybe you could not. But we all have to be compassionate for one another. It's not always easy, but we can count to 5 and say, well, we don't know what they've been through, where they came from, what kind of pressure. It doesn't maybe make sense to us, but it makes sense to the person.
Absolutely.
You know, and then if you can find out about their playbook or whatever you want to call it, then maybe you can help them to see things differently. Because it takes a lot of courage and a lot of bravery if you come from that kind of mess. Because honestly, guys, this doesn't have anything to do with landscaping, but it has to do with life. Sometimes you have to make a very difficult choice and you'll almost have to leave behind your entire family because they will say things to you like, you can't be better than us, you think you're better, or lots of other things that are much more complicated than that. And so it's not easy to withstand that. And so that's just a little commentary about Playbook and where we need to be compassionate with everyone because we don't know their stories. And if we find out people's stories, then maybe we can help them, and we can show them something they haven't seen in their playbook before. And if they're willing to listen, then maybe it will change their life. I believe that.
I do too.
I believe it, but we can't do it if we're being mean and angry with every single person that we see everywhere we go. So, okay, that's the end of that. Let's go to this. Mike says, we are currently adding Mondo to our shade beds. The lawn keeps shrinking.
Good choice.
Yeah, that's good, Mike.
I think the less lawn you have these days, the better. I think in days gone by, people wanted the bigger, better lawn, but as we've talked about, so many problems that can come up within your lawn, whether you have Bermuda or St. Augustine, being able to create less maintenance beds. Just because you're adding landscape beds doesn't mean you're going to have less maintenance, but doing something like this with ground cover kind of falls into that category. And if it fits the scheme of your yard, hey, good job.
Yeah, and it's less watering, right?
Yeah.
And then if you mulch it really well, there's usually no maintenance.
Right, there's a few weeds. And so, just less to mow. And
that's good, Mike. That's good.
I think as we all get older, we think of less yard and more appetite for seeing stuff that's more aesthetically pleasing than just the big green plateau outside the window.
Well, and then always, I know in our subdivision world out here, there's just such an issue with the trees that were planted in First Colony, and there's too many and they're too big and people don't always have them trimmed properly. And there's that constant problem of I call it that parkway area where nothing will grow. And do you usually recommend dwarf mondo for that?
Well, we use Liriope.
Oh, Liriope. That's right. I forgot. It's Liriope.
Yeah.
But they're similar or no?
Yeah, it's just we have better luck here in the Houston area with Liriope because we have a tendency with the regular monkey grass mondo. It typically does not stay full within a large planting, and you have bits and pieces that always seem to be dying out, where the Liriope, you hardly ever have any. And
Mike's in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and we're down near Houston. So for anyone who is watching, here's Sanders Lawn Service. Hey, Sanders Lawn Service. We're actually live over on Facebook, but I just kind of propped this up here for Instagram. So this is Todd Farber, Aggie Horticulturist. If you're interested in chatting with him, I can set you up. You can message us here on Instagram. You can direct message us on Facebook. You can get on our website and you can live chat with us. You can text us on the phone. The only thing that we don't have is smoke signals. We got it all. We've been doing it a long time.
Hey, we might even have an answering machine still somewhere around here.
I think I got rid of the answering machine. That's funny. Y'all remember that? Okay, as we close it out tonight, just put yes in the box if you remember having an answering machine. And every stinking one of you better say yes, because I know you're older than me. Oh, yeah, Mike, please send us some pictures later. Y'all answer yes if you had an answering machine.
And a beeper.
A beeper. Next week, I'll have to show the picture of when Todd and I, like one of our first dates. Yes, Donna French had an answering machine. Mike might still have one. Mike, do you still have an answering machine?
Be honest, Mike.
Oh, Kathy, yes. Is Luis still watching? Luis, you're young. Maybe Luis never had an answering machine.
Maybe he didn't have a beeper either.
Maybe he didn't have a pager. So when I met Todd, he had a pager.
I thought I was important.
Oh my gosh. When my number would come up, how happy were you?
I found the nearest payphone, baby.
And that's how old we are. So that's how old we are. That's right. He does not even Mike is up and coming, not even a landline.
Good job. So if I work at your house and actually cut your old phone line, it wouldn't make a difference.
Because that happens sometimes. It's difficult. Let's go down here. Let's see what Donna says. Landline and currently, Donna keeping it old school. I appreciate the old school approach. I do. Donna's got the landline and she uses her answering machine.
Well, how old is it? Do you have the tape that goes in it, or is it one of the digital messages?
Oh my gosh, do you have the tape that goes in it? That's great. Let's see what. No, Mike says no. That's awesome. Well, we like the old paths, and we try to keep current as well. I appreciate always the old ways. The Bible says, look for the old paths. Those are the
I
best
agree
ones.
with that.
So I believe in that in a lot of ways. But I do like to keep current with technology, especially with our business, because I think it's important. But we try to remember the old paths too. So Donna, be in touch. And we thank y'all on Instagram and on Facebook for joining Todd Farber, Aggie Horticulturist, Sugarland's #1 residential landscaper since 1991. We will see y'all in 2 weeks. I try to do these every other week. In the meanwhile, you know where to get in touch with us. We will see y'all very soon. Let me turn off Instagram right here.
Hey, thanks a lot for joining us.
And that's that. And then I'm going to end the broadcast on Facebook. Thanks y'all so much. Have a good night.